Anyways, my hands are like really out of shape, and this is Carcassi. I'm gonna do the first measure, that tremolo section, see what my speed is, and try to make it even, and gradually ramp it up. Okay, 92. You see nothing? No music? Wait, do you see the picture? Are you speaking metaphorically? What's up, rascal? Are you saying metaphorically you don't see anything? Or you actually don't see the music on the screen? See, I think I know how to play guitar, but I don't know how to fucking operate Twitch at all. Oh, that's fucking terrible. Let's not do that. That's fucking not cool at all. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. But I don't want to fucking hear me. Okay, so I mute it. Okay, I got it. Ah, I got you. Dude, so, I have taught, I don't mean this to sound like ridiculous, but I have taught like hundreds of people, and people who are like 5 and 6 years old, and I'll tell you exactly what I do to them. I don't tell them this is what I'm doing for the first couple of weeks. Play fucking nursery rhymes. Like play shit on just the first string, and take out music. Get music, right? And play like fucking row, row, row your boat. Which is lame. But the thing is, you don't want to be challenged with the musical playing and be challenged with the reading. Those are two different things, right? Like some people can read well and they can't play well. Some people can't read, but they play really well. So if what you want to do is get good at reading, take really, really easy shit, like the easiest shit on earth, and just get used to reading that and gradually ramp it up. And if you're already a good guitarist, the thing that sucks is it's probably going to take a year. If you do it like an hour a day, it's probably going to take a year, 2 years before you are like reading shit that is the same level you play at. But once you get it, you got it. Like, you just have to get used to it. And I started off, by the way, I played guitar for 6 years? 4 years. 4 years before I read any music. And I still go to tab. Like, I go to tab all the time for like heavy metal shit or whatever else. But when I'm doing classical stuff, like, there's just more information on the page, so do that. And it's also really weird, like, if I'm playing, like, single note jazz lines, I can't really read that worth of shit. So it's kind of like speaking a language in certain dialects, but whatever. Anyway, back on that number. 92. Six. 100. $104. $103. Very good. Fuck, good enough for me. Yeah. Yeah, well, it depends on how people define stuff. Rascal is asking, thanks man. Rascal is asking if someone completely ignores reading music, can they be a complete musician? Well, it depends on who you ask. But I will tell you what I think is the real answer is that reading music is a tool to make music. Right? Like, you don't read music because you just want to read music. You read music because you want to play music. You want to make music. And if you can make music and play music without reading, and you do a great job, well then fuck the people that say you have to read. Like, fuck them. Who gives a fuck what they think? What's up, Niles? When people get good at things, they want to look down on people who are not good at the same things that they're good at. So, my thing is, let's not worry about the process, let's worry about the end result. So, like, if you make good music that you like and you're happy with, and you have people that are into it or whatever, who gives a fuck how you get there? You know what I mean? Some people think that DJing is not music, or like, oh, if you don't read music, you're not like a musician. Dude, fuck all those people. Like, as long as you feel good about what you make, fuck them. That's my profession. I'll bring that closer, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just metronoming some shit here. Cause my hands are out of shape, so I'm just going back to a kind of old piece of music and, going through some sections. Yeah, what's up, Garcia? Yeah, I didn't even start anything on YouTube. I was like, let me just sit down and do this because I wanted to stream something, but I also needed to practice. I was like, 2 birds, 1 stone. So I was metronoming that first section. I went from 88 BPM to 116, and instead of pushing further, I'm just going to do a different section. Well, I'm not going to do the whole section. I'm not even sure where I'm going to stop. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. What's on your screen over there? Yeah, maybe just what's on your screen, maybe a little further, the bottom half. Measure, I have a different edition in front of me instead of what you have. I think it's measure 9 on your screen. If you don't know your measure numbers, it's on the top right. On each line, there's a measure number. So line 5. Anyways. I don't even know if I know this shit, but I think I know it, so I'm just jumping in. If I was practicing something from scratch, it wouldn't look this way at all. I would not be metronoming if I didn't know the music. I would just be figuring out where the fuck the notes are. Ooh, I'm rushing. So right now, the reason why I'm doing this is to make sure that my 16th notes are actually in time with the metronome. Because if playing guitar is it's a 2-hand challenge. So if this hand is not even in time, then why even fucking worry about this hand? So I'm just muting the strings to make sure that this hand is playing the correct rhythm. And my thumb is on the click. Thumb, middle, and there. Anyways. Let's fuck this up. Ooh, not right. Alright, so I don't feel very good about that, so I'll play it again. Thanks. Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Thanks for I didn't write it. So thanks to Matteo Carcassi from Italy in like the 18th century. 19th. 18th. I'm not sure. Late 1700s, early 1800s, or something like that. Anyways, I gotta play this section again because I fucked the notes up. Notice I didn't increment. If I don't nail all the notes, can't move the metronome up. Well, maybe 90, like, it's like a rock band or something. If I don't nail 97, 98% of the notes, there's no point in pushing the metronome up. And if I play it 2 or 3 times in a row and don't nail 97, then push to slow it down. Nope. Which I'm not really going to play into that section. I should get that. Okay. Alright, let's go up to 92. 88 to 92. Here we go. God damn it. Let's check this measure here real quick. Alright, let's just start it. Hell yeah! Now we're back on. 96. Oh, and as soon as I fuck up, like 2 notes in a row, I just stop, because I don't want to teach my hands, bad. I don't want to teach my hands. Basically, the whole idea of practice, right, is we're teaching our hands habits so we can turn our brain off. So if I play multiple bad notes in a row, I'm teaching my hands to play bad notes. So, like, I need to, like, not do that. Stop and just go back. Damn it, what is this part here? Let me check this out. Alright, back. Ah, fucking motherfucker. Here we go again. From the top. Not from the top of the page, from the top of the keyboard. Hell yeah. 100. I'm trying to get to 116 before I go through it. First fucking try, there we go. Oh, dude, we all suck. One of the keys of being like, it sounds like so douchebag to say all this shit. But the key of being a pro whatever the fuck that means, is you figure out what is the shit you're doing for the future that you fuck up now, and what's the thing you do now that you don't fuck up. So, for example, going and getting a glass of water, you don't fuck that up. Like, even if you have to go get a glass of water 1,000 times, you just go get the fucking cup with the water in it, you don't fuck it up. Maybe 1 out of 10,000 times you knock the fucking glass over. So it's the same thing with your music. When you're performing for an audience that's paying you fucking money, then what you want to do is you want to pick music that is a cup of water. You want to pick shit that you rarely ever fuck up. But you have another bucket of music that people don't ever see you play that you're constantly fucking up. But hopefully, a year in the future, 2, 3 years in the future, the shit you're constantly fucking up will become another cup of water. The fancy word for that is repertoire. Repertoire is shit that you already can play on a pretty confident basis with a minimal amount of practice. It's not the same as like learning new shit. It's different. And some guitarists just always pick to play things in front of an audience that they're just not ready to play. Like they played it once or twice while in their bedroom, but once they have to play it without like a lot of when you're going on stage, you can't rehearse the song a bunch. You just go on stage and play. So like a lot of people pick a song that they've kind of they got right once, and they fucked it up like 100 times. So they got it right once, and so they go try to play it in front of someone else, and then they just eat a bag of dicks. And I do it too. We all make this mistake that we think we've got something under control, and then once we're playing in front of somebody, even just one person, if you're playing just in front of one person who's staring at you, and you start to get nervous, and like you're like, I can't play, it just all fucking dies, and you're like, oh, it turns out I wasn't ready to bring that piece to life. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I'm at 100 BPMs. No, I think I just aced 100. Let's go to 104. Oh, and taking a break like this, right? Because I was just constantly repeating. So we'll find out if I was right. Because maybe I need the momentum of the repetition. But I took a break to talk to you. So maybe now the momentum's not there. And we'll see if we get to the 104. Ah, motherfucker, right? There we go. That's why we practice slow. You see how much I fucked up at 88, 92, 90, and 96? And then I got 100 on the first try and 104 on the first try. Because I was wanting to, just be slow. Get good slow. And then, you're kind of let your hands take over a little bit. Alright, 108. Heading to 116, so I have 2 more. If I can get it right, 3 more times in a row, then I'm done with this section. First try, motherfucker! What? Here we go. 112. Lost my spot in the music. I was playing from memory. Damn it. That's another thing. You just witnessed another mistake. Once you read it a bunch of times, you don't really have to read it because you're already memorizing it. And I was just playing I thought I was reading, but I was playing from memory, and all of a sudden I needed to find a note, and I couldn't find it. I was glancing at the page, but I wasn't actually reading at all. Anyways, here we go. It's 112. 116. Let's get this shit and then move on. Fuck yeah. Boom. There we go. How long is this practice? This practice session has only been 20 minutes now. Getting some shit done. So now, just for fun, without the metronome, I'm going to go back and play everything we've worked so far, which is about 60% of these. Ah, it's so close. Damn it. I just fucked up. And that's as far as we practice. Guess what? 20 minutes of work. Get to the end of this motherfucker. Go back to 88. And let's see if I know these things. Oh, what is that? I use my thumb there. Yeah, I should use my thumb. I'm using my thumb for this part. Whatever the fuck that is, I should use my thumb the whole time, even though I think I do. You gotta do what works for you. The reason I'm slowing down the metronome is because it's kind of a waste of time. We're trying to get things right, so even though my ego wants me to just start at 88, if I played 88 and then fucked up 5 times in a row, I'm just wasting time. I don't know why you cannot reduce the video quality. And that's what we slowed down, because it actually worked. Let's go back there. That was right. Let's stop. It sounded wrong. That was right. Oh, sorry, I'm fucking y'all up. I didn't put the music on the screen over here, I didn't move it. We're on this page. Sorry. Well, I'm starting actually like 2 measures before this page starts. But whatever. I don't know how to fix that. And 6. Well, well, pull-offs are kind of sounding shitty there on the G sharp and the B. A little better. Yeah, that works. Oh, it's close! I didn't even practice that part. Anyways. I wish I had the number up here so I could see what the fuck was here, but I can't tell. I don't even know. Right now, I know I'm gonna know. Well, when you practice your one anyway. Who gives a fuck? It sounds like the opening, because if the opening came back, this is the actual ending. So, I think these are about 7 measures. And the first part is the fucking last part. Back to the button. Motherfucker, I'll fucking kill you. Fucking metronome. Something I thought to myself. Do not jump back to the first section. The ending. Sounds like the beginning. But it changes. Don't go on your habit. Play what the fuck is in front of you. What the fuck? Finally, 104. Almost did the same thing again. I stopped right before I played the wrong note. I was about to play the wrong shit. Number 8. I guess that's what Twitch is about, right? That's what live streaming is. Just do shit for free. Well, practicing guitar, right? You practice guitar for free fucking anyways. But you are seeing something pretty different, though. What you're seeing is a piece that I already have learned to play in the past, but forgot how it went. It's an extremely different process for a piece that I'm starting from scratch. It doesn't look anything like this. Like, when you start getting to the metronome part and getting towards the actual performance speed, like, you're getting pretty close. Like, I always get excited when I'm able to metronome, because it means I'm just, like, X amount of repetitions away from probably nailing it. The first thing, right, on the brand new piece is like, what the fuck are these notes? What the fuck am I playing? And then you gotta go, like, slowly and piece all that shit together, and you start taking a Lego block, start taking, like, little pieces to make little sections, or, like, this is the front yard, and this is the house, and this is the roof, and then double back through, like, where's the roof? Where's the front yard? And then once you, like, remember, oh, this is the roof, that's the front yard, that's the fucking dog over there, then you snap it all together, and you start fucking, like, trying to put bigger and bigger chunks together. Hey, there's 108. 112. It's the shift. And because I said that, let's begin. Okay, let's try 108, the entire fucking piece. Here we go. What did I play wrong? Oh, nothing. Just didn't fucking go far enough ahead with my eyes. You gotta lead yourself a little bit with that. Fuck off, 4 measures from the ending. Fucking piece of shit. Right there is what's fucking up. I'm gonna start from this button. Fuck you, Metronome. I'm just mad. I just want to play. You play the whole fucking thing. Fucking just do it. Made 2 fuck-ups. I think I hit them pretty well. That's another part is fucking up and trying to, like, try to hide it from the audience. It's like, if you haven't played this piece 100 times, chances are you did not catch my 2 fuck-ups in there. Probably one. Probably call it one, because I slowed down a little bit. The other one, I played a note that I knew would sound good, but it was the wrong note. That was fuck. 37 minutes of practice time. Yeah, the metronome is a bitch. The metronome, learning to work with a metronome was a huge breakthrough for me, and I played for it. This sounds crazy. When I teach people now, like, I get them working with a metronome. Well, I trick them. I keep time for them. Because people just don't like the sound of the metronome, so, like, I'll keep time. And I'll let them know when they're rushing and pulling back, but make sure they can hear the click. But I get people playing with the metronome, like, in the first 3 months, first 6 weeks. But I actually, dude, I probably played for fucking, it's embarrassing. I think I played for about 8 years before I just gave in to the power of the metronome. The metronome reveals all. Like, if you can't play with a metronome, that is one thing I will say for certain. If you can't play with a metronome, then you cannot fucking play. It just sounds good in your head, but your time is all wrong. It's like speaking a language. If you think you speak a language but no one understands you, then you don't actually speak a fucking language. You just speak something you think is a language. Music has time. If you cannot keep time, then you're not playing the right shit. That is just what the fuck is going on. And here's the thing: is if you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. Like, maybe when you're playing fast, like, your mind is so preoccupied with trying to play fast that you think you have a chance, but you don't actually have a fucking chance. You have no chance of doing it correct over and over and over again. There's no chance. So you have to get it slow, because when you go slow, you have no choice but to think. Time just expands in your head. And when you play slow, you can, all of a sudden you're distracted by all these things, like, what's my left hand doing? Where's this finger? Oh, what's my right hand doing? What's coming up next in the piece? Or you get distracted by other shit like, my foot feels weird. What's that light over there? Oh, didn't I mean to call someone earlier? Like, the slower you play, the more time there is for all these distractions to enter your brain. And so, to play it correctly slow means you know the notes, you know the time, and you're able to focus. And then you use correct repetitions, and you just begin building speed, which then gives you a confidence When you play something like you just heard, does 37 minutes on. Where are my measure markings from? Oh, this doesn't have any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, like 30 measures. When you spend 40 minutes on 30 measures of music, you just get to know that music better. And then when you go to play it, look, I would not perform this right now, but I would be confident that if I had to, I could perform this motherfucker by tomorrow. Like tomorrow night, live audience, no music, committed to memory, not a problem, because it's pretty short. But like if you play something like this, fucking 200 times in a row, and you know that every repetition at each metronome speed you nailed it, then when you go to play, you don't have to wonder. You will feel nervous. I feel nervous every time. But you can remind yourself, no, bitch. No, bitch. We did this. We did every measure. We made sure every measure was right. We made sure at every speed increment that all of it was correct. And now all we have to do is trust the fucking process. That we are not special. That we put the work in. And as long as we put the work in, the fucking output will be there. Not special. Just do the fucking work. The special part is after that. The special part is like, how dedicated are you? How much music do you intend to play? How many years are you going to play for? How are you when you're talking to other musicians? How are you with people who are better than you and people who are worse than you? How do you fucking treat people? How do you treat yourself? That's the part where things can be special. But the music is just the fucking music. That's just the fucking work. When you have all the notes correct, and you can play it from start to finish and all the notes are right, then you can put artistry on top of it. You're going to slow down somewhere, you're going to speed up somewhere, you're going to play like for example, let's take a section. Let's take this section. Right? You're like, well, what all can I do with that? And you can kind of accelerate into it. But then you have to decelerate out of it, or else the whole piece is going to be too fast. But you can also play by the bridge. So you can move over there. Right? So then you go. So you can make these little changes on how the notes still have to be right. The notes still have to be like in the spot. But then you can start playing around. It's like a script. Right? It's like if I read Robert De Niro's words off the page, I can say the same words he says. They still have to be the right words at the right time. But the difference between Robert De Niro and me is how he says the words at the right time. That's the difference. That's where the artistry comes in. But artistry is not an excuse to not do the fucking work. The work has to be done. Well, so let's say it differently. The work doesn't have to be done. You don't have to do the work. But when your ass goes to perform, we're gonna find out exactly how much work you had. You can say whatever fucking excuses when you get off stage. Oh, it sounded better last week. I was nervous. Dude, all I know is you went to execute, you didn't execute. And I don't need your, don't talk to me. Talk to your fucking self. You're the one who's gotta be you, not nailing shit. So, that's just how it is. And the world is extremely competitive, and there's not room for 100,000 people to get fucking paid. There's just, well, maybe there is. I don't know the fucking numbers, but you know what I mean? How many people do you listen to each day? How many different musicians do you listen to each day? You don't listen to 1 million. So if you're in the bottom million, well, you fucking, you can do it for fun. You just can't do it for a job. And then you have to ask, well, okay, how the fuck do I get from the bottom million to the next, 500,000? And there's different things you can do. There's some things you don't have control over. You could be really, really attractive. That helps, because people listen with their eyes. So you watch someone who's, really hot play, you hear it sounding better than it actually is. It's a big, crazy... The variables you can control, the variables you can't control, but most importantly is if you're going to try to work at it, you actually want to work, you actually just want to be better, then just make it that transparent. what is something I can do today that tomorrow, when I look at today, what can I specifically say I did that worked? So, for example, like I'm looking at a camera, but I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to you. Tomorrow, I can tell myself I played Carcassi Opus 16 number 7 for about 37 minutes. I metronomed it from 88 to 116 on every fucking measure in the piece. That's not I think I did something. I know I did that. How good was it? That's subjective. Maybe it wasn't that good. Maybe you play like a lot of guitar or something and it's not that great. But I can actually say what the work was. And so whenever people say they work, I don't like come at them, like unless we're in a professional environment. Like if you're paying me to teach you, then it's my job to actually like tell you what I think the fucking truth is. Some people are like, I practiced this week. I'm like, did you hear what I just said? I said I played all of the measures in this piece from 88 BPMs to 116 BPMs. I didn't say I practiced. It's like I actually listed the work I fucking did. So like, if you can list what it is you did that you think gives you a fighting chance to be better, and you just worry one day at a time, and you just stack all those days back to back to back, you can't lose. The question is, how long will it take? Are you gonna like kill it in 2 years, or 7 years, or 9 years? But you'll 100% kill it. You can't work every day and be honest about your work and fail. You just end up quitting before you make it. That's it. Anyhow, I wish I had knew who all was here or who all was not here. I still can't see anything. I have to learn how to, just like I had to practice the fucking metronome, this is my rep on Twitch. And I obviously set it up very poorly because I cannot see a fucking thing other than the chat. Is it over here? Yeah, so I guess what I'll do if this all works out, well, I know what I'm trying to do, is I'm going to try to download this, I assume I can, and then I'll post it over on YouTube and be like, bitches, this is what happened on Twitch. And of course people on YouTube will be like, who the fuck cares? And I'm like, well, I didn't say you'd care. Just like, that's what happened over here. Now I'm watching a fucking Inception level of my own shit. I meant to only practice for like 20 minutes, but that's because, I was cocky. I thought I was gonna nail that piece in 20 minutes and it took 37. Whatever. I just needed to fucking practice. Anyways, thanks for fucking hanging out. I would tell you what's gonna happen in the future, but I don't really know. I guess since you apparently liked this, then maybe I'll do other practice in the future. I'm definitely gonna do Rocksmith and practicing, and I'm probably also gonna do some music production, because you see what I'm doing? I'm taking things that I suck at, and I'm just like, well, let's just stream it. So I don't know how to fucking play Rocksmith. I needed to practice, and I don't know really how to make good music in Ableton, so like, I think we're gonna do all that stuff. And then whatever else the fuck happens. And if you don't know me from YouTube, the 4 people who are here, I do music reactions over there. So like, just the most random shit on earth. There's no point in plugging. People just do what the fuck they want to do. Anyhow, let's fucking kill this bitch. Been live for 52 minutes. Hey, I feel proud about that. Yeah. Whatever. Alright, fucking take care of yourselves. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go over, I don't know if I'm gonna go be live on YouTube, but I'm gonna go definitely make some music reaction and shit. Oh wait, there's another comment. Rascal, what do you think about this new kind of music producer that usually works with electronic music, works from home, no need to... I think that So I think this question in a nutshell is, what do I think about the new type of music that's being made, and also the interaction between the people making the music and their audience? I think that whenever we are judging shit, we're always judging shit from what we understand, which means we are judging shit from the past. Right? If you told me that you were going to drink water by levitating it and then shooting it in your mouth, I would think that you're fucking wrong, because I don't have a history where that happens. But if all of a sudden people can do that, then that just becomes like a new way to do things. And once everyone's doing that, then people will be like, dude, this is some bullshit. Back in my day, we had to go put water in a fucking cup. You know, I don't know about better or worse or whatever. I just know that when things move forward, there's always... That's the definition of conservative and progressive. Is half the people want things to stay the way they were, and the other half want to push things forward. And there's always this give and take between what has been going on and what's going to go forward in the future. And you can make a decent argument for both. I mean, not for everything, but you can go like, well, Mozart kicked ass. Beethoven kicked ass. Like, they wrote a certain way, they played a certain way, and they kicked ass. So, like, why not do that? And then people are like, well, because we're sick of it and we fucking seen it before, so we want to do something different. And when you push forward, you're always going... When you do things the old way, you're going to have a lot of repetition and boring shit because you're just used to it. And when you push forward, you're also going to have a lot of terrible shit because people are doing things brand new and they don't know how to fucking do it yet. And here's the thing about pushing forward. Once you push forward and it's consistent, it becomes the old way. Right? Elvis Presley was the new guy, then he was the old guy. Led Zeppelin was the new people, then the old people. Same thing with the Beatles. Then fucking rap. Like, rap was like, oh, you can't do rap, rap's not allowed, you can't have it on TV. And then, like, now, rap is like the super common thing that fucking everybody and their brother wants to do. Same thing with EDM music and just electronic music production. It's just gonna keep moving. Same thing with fucking streaming, right? Like, why the fuck am I streaming? Because I'm behind the curve. But I'm like, oh shit, people were streaming, I should stream. And we're, probably five years from now, every single person who tries to do anything is going to be trying to stream or be on whatever platform. And then it's going to move somewhere else. The ball's just going to move further down. And you'll have your early adopters and your people who figure out shit later. And so what I'm hoping to be able to do is that I have a lot of shit I've done in the past, regardless of how well it went, but a lot of things that I've done in the past that maybe I can mix it with some of the newer shit. And that just be my... Like, for example, right, I've been playing the fucking guitar forever. Now, the streaming thing is new. Me being on Twitch is new. But I combined me knowing how to practice with being on Twitch, and hopefully there's some space there for that. And if there's not, then I'll just fucking pivot and do something different. I mean, I have no idea how this is gonna work. But you put the content out there, and then you see how the people react. It's like this song, right? If I go play this song live, the question isn't do I do a good job. We expect to do a good job. We work to do a good job. The question is, who do I play it for, and do they give a fuck? If I play it at an old folks' home, maybe they'll just be blown away. Like, oh my god, that's some cool classical shit. If I go to an EDM festival and I play this, like, maybe 80% of people will be like, what the fuck is this? Like, why the fuck is this guy? What the fuck is he doing up there? So it's like, it's not just what you make, it's who you make it for. Do they know you exist? Do they give a fuck? And then if you can actually get people to give a fuck that you exist, then show up and don't let those motherfuckers down. Like, show up. If they know who you are and they care enough, they care that you can do something, then don't get lazy. Like, actually fucking show up. Even if you do a bad job, just fucking show up. Anyways. Don't know if anyone's still here. There's that button. There are still 4 people here. Yeah, well, we're all watching people try to perfect shit because most people are not trying to be fuck-ups. They just happen to be fuck-ups. So, empathy, man. Alright, Rascal, dude, thanks so much for hanging out and actually, like, having a conversation with me. I thought I was going to, just be staring at a page and playing a metronome. I'm really super happy that you, got something awesome out of this. It's cool to, like, do something that someone gives a fuck about. So thanks for giving a fuck, dude. I am, however, getting out of here. If I know how to stop this. I think this button will do it. Maybe?